Hey guys, it's Deb with Frontline Property Management, and today I'd like to speak to you about pricing your property. One thing that I don't want you to do is rely heavily on the public rent comps out there. Pricing, most owners who call me, that's the first thing you want to know. I feel like, and our team feels like, pricing is a little bit of science, but it also is a little bit of art. The first factor that we look at when we're pricing your property is timing. Let's face it, your tenants do not want to move a Christmas tree. And when it comes around the holiday time, things do slow down just a bit. Our best leasing season is May through about the second week in August, and that's for obvious reasons. Everyone is trying to get into a property and get settled when their children get in school. So timing is hugely important. So you got to be careful when you're looking at those rent comps on the public site, because those could be as much as 6 months old. So just be careful there. The second factor that we look at is the micro-specific neighborhood where your property is located. If your tenant comes in to that area and maybe you got a few houses that aren't the nicest, and they drive up to your property and all of a sudden there's about 5 or 6 dogs barking, it's just the micro-specific neighborhood. Not a lot you can do about that, but maybe you do drive it, maybe you take them in a different way. There are a few things that we can do about that, and that leads me to the third factor that we look at, and that's the wow factor. The wow factor, if we get it right, can overcome those other two issues that we just talked about. And let me tell you what the wow factor is. If you ask for a rental rate over the phone and someone just gives you a rate, I would be very leery of that, because we like to see that property. We like to get in, we like to walk it with you, point out what today's renters are looking for in their property. There are a lot of things that you can do that can add value, such as spending a little bit more on maybe ceiling fans and fixtures and flooring, and bathrooms are huge. Do not leave the old appliances that are autumn colored. Gold, you know the ones I'm talking about. So there's a couple things that you can do. Curb appeal is really big as well. So if that tenant or prospect drives up to the property, they walk in the door and they say, wow, I really love this property, it can overcome a couple of those other things we just talked about. So pricing strategy is a little bit of art and a little bit of science. And where we come in on the art piece is sometimes we do price high, because we're going to wait and see how that activity is. We might look at what's out there in the market and get a baseline for comps, but we're going to wait and see. If we haven't had an application in 5 showings, then we pretty much know we might not have that price right. We might need to drop it just a little bit, but sometimes we are greatly surprised. So here's the happy pricing, and if for some reason you think you got the price wrong on your property, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it.